My name is Dr. Peter Lowe. I'm the principal of Stewart K-8 School in Pinole, California, part of West Contra Costa Unified School District.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Locke, and I teach third grade at Stewart School in Pinole.
Your name and your school, so your ID there.
Sure. Mike Wilson. I'm the science teacher for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade here at Stewart.
And they picked out the colors, and they picked out how many cars they were going to have, and they created the hills and the valleys and the loops and everything. And when they would get close and it would get to that final platform, and everyone would be waiting, and yay! They made it, or oh man, it knocked it over. Tried again, and they just kept going with it until they made them successful. And it was such a wonderful project to see, because the kids worked together and they were so excited, and they'd help each other. They go, well, maybe you should make it higher, maybe you should make it lower, make the loop bigger, make the loop smaller. And it was a wonderful collaboration.
Introduced to us by the Calculus Roundtable. And so the teachers were introduced to it, and then they started working with the third graders, and they were doing virtual labs, if you like, and virtual projects around motion and speed and all that. And so and 8th graders, on the other hand, were doing their physics lab, and the lab was a roller coaster lab, which also they were measuring speed, mass, and all that kind of stuff, force equals mass times acceleration. So they were trying to figure out those pieces. And so when the teacher, this 8th grade teacher and 3rd grade teachers synchronized, they found out they were working with the same eye concepts. So they say, oh wow, we are doing the lab, and you guys who have been doing this. So then they say, why don't you bring over the 3rd graders to come and work with the 8th graders? And so they work together on this lab.
I was in the photocopy room, and I saw Mr. Wilson, the science teacher, and I was telling him about this wonderful project that we had done, making these roller coasters on our tablets. And he said, we're going to try and make roller coasters in our classroom using marbles and things. I said, I think we should work together. And he said, I think we should work together. So my kids were very excited to go over to the 8th grade science classroom with their tablets and their ideas to show the big kids how they created their roller coasters.
Well, it was great because we were talking about getting our classes together, and it just happened to be that she was working with roller coasters, but they were doing it all online on the computer. So there was not that real part to it. My 8th graders were actually making out of foam different roller coaster tracks. So it really fit together.
As a principal, I think that was the most exhilarating and most exciting find, because I didn't know when they were doing it, but I was invited, so I went and saw it. And it just blew my mind away, what collaboration can do.
And it's nice to see how 8th graders kind of tone it down and relax, because they're all of a sudden the teacher and they want to show their best side. Some of that 8th grade behavior and things kind of goes by the wayside when they see that there's younger kids around. So there's that leadership, or at least know, okay, I need to be kind of on a better behavior, you know, and they probably may have that with their younger siblings too. So kind of a role model. So.
Together with the 8th graders, they created the real roller coasters out of tubes and, I don't know, funnels and all kinds of crazy stuff. And they made the roller coasters work. And it was one of the most fun collaborations that we've ever had, 3rd grade and 8th grade together.
They were kind of teaching the 8th graders quite a bit because they had not seen it online. And then the 8th graders were there to kind of build what the 3rd graders were envisioning. So it worked out really well.
Sometimes they're shy. In this case, they came in with confidence because they knew what the project was and they knew how to do it. So it was very different. They all immediately worked together, and the little kids had a chance to show what they knew. So that was great to see.
The amazing thing is that when the 3rd graders came, they come with a wealth of knowledge because they have been doing this virtually. And so the 8th graders were learning, doing it book work, and so theirs was to do an experiment. And so it just came together like that. It was very beautiful when they came together.
Well, I do want to say one other thing about this project is when the kids have tablet time, oftentimes they'll say, can we make roller coasters? So they're still doing it, you know. They're adding more cars and making more hills. And Yeah, it's been really fun.
And one amazing thing that I saw myself personally was that when these students were together and they were talking to each other, the 8th grade and 3rd graders were talking to each other, it was like they were talking equally because the level of knowledge and the level of language was similar. And so to me, that was just a shock and amazing to me to see that there was no age difference. And to me, as a principal of this school, was so exciting. So the ideas that the students learned and shared, there was commonality. So we saw that regardless of age, the concepts are the same, what they are learning, and once you make the language common, it doesn't matter because they were speaking the same language.